I think it has to do with YouTube, so maybe we'll move to Twitch at some point.
Hello.
Hello. I think we're back on. We're on
Okay.
a different. We're in a part two. For anybody who's stuck around, or I don't know. We'll see. We may just be doing the last part of the show for the
Just for us.
yeah.
For the love of the game.
Yeah, for the love of the game. So it was the cursed broccoli. Now I've learned.
Yep, it was definitely the cursed broccoli.
I, before this, I thought when I referenced this earlier, I thought it was the pickle was going to be cursed, but I was wrong. It's the broccoli.
Yeah. I think maybe next week or next show we should try going to Twitch instead of YouTube and seeing if Twitch will solve this problem, which I probably shouldn't say on our YouTube stream, but here we are. So, yeah. So this is probably one of those things that only people who watch the VOD later will see, but we're gonna give it a go, and maybe people will join. So, let's, I guess, Andrew, let's move on to your items.
All right. So first up, we've got. Are you bringing them up, Dustin? Or?
Yeah. Which one do you want?
Let's do the shirt.
Oh, okay.
This here is a sweatshirt. We are all dogs
Really?
in God's hot car.
I'm really delighted by this.
Yep. It's the eyes really sell it too. The eyes, because the eyes are so sad. Like,
They're very, very interesting. Now, I did some research on this. This apparently comes from a tweet from 2021 in response to a heat wave in the UK, where someone tweeted this out.
okay.
We are all dogs in God's hot car. And I think from there, it was one of those deals where, like, someone probably responded to it like, I want that on a t-shirt. And then t-shirt sites swarmed on it. And now it's, if you search the phrase, we are all dogs in God's car, most of the results you're going to get are from sites selling shirts with this phrase on it. But I feel like removed from that context, it's a very, it's a nice bleak thing to put on a shirt.
Very bleak thing
just
to put
sort
on.
of.
And
I mean, within the
and a hoodie.
costumes.
And a hoodie.
And a hoodie.
And a
Yeah.
hoodie.
A nice pistachio hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just a t-shirt.
It's the eyes too. It's like it's
Yeah. It's
the fact that they put these like eyes with these heavy rings around them, so they're like tired. Yeah.
They've seen some shit. They're done with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And they're just asking God to stay in the Kmart for a little bit longer so we can finish this off.
Yeah. No signs, no signage like we're okay, AC running,
No,
nothing like
no
that.
cops. Cops don't come break the window.
No one breaks the window.
We're just gonna ride this out. We don't have the AC on.
On purpose.
We don't have our favorite songs playing.
Yeah.
This shirt's bumming me out so hard.
It's right. It's so upsetting. Like,
but don't worry, because we're about to get creepy. I think if we go, do you want to go to the other?
We sure are.
The other item.
Let's.
Yep. This horror show.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Why?
Who is purchasing this? Who is the target market?
Kafka fans?
Because the first thing they do is type in Etsy.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's worse.
Yeah.
It's worse at this angle.
Right, because it's got like super dead eyes that just like make it extra creepy. Like.
Well, so the thing about this. I applaud. Not a lot of people respect the fact that most babies are pretty ugly. Like, at least for a little bit. Like for the first like 6 months or so. Like, babies, they're just, they get cute. I'll admit that. They get real cute. But on initial, when they just come out, they don't do anything. They're basically grub babies, ugly grub babies. So, at least this one's got grown a plant in his head. I looking at the reviews though, a lot of people were complaining it's too small, which
What?
babies' heads are
How
small,
big do you
idiot.
want this to
Deal
be,
with
you
it.
freaks?
Yeah.
What?
Heather, do you want to give me a new link for chat? Because I want to make sure to put up
Yeah.
Sujata's comment of
Yeah.
I came
I'd
back
be
for
happy
this.
to. Yeah, I'd be so more than happy to, because holy, yeah, that's the correct response to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's not tricking anyone. They know what they're getting. One person, one review says ugly, but that's what I was aiming for. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just like this is another one of those things where it's like, who woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna make this. This is the thing that I'm gonna sculpt. And then who woke up one day and not because they're like finding links for things to share on a YouTube show, who actually chooses to search for this willingly because they want to purchase it.
I mean, it's called Fugly Planters. So if you look at their page, they got a lot of gross stuff.
Okay. Do we want to keep going?
I mean, if this thing hasn't cursed us.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think it looks well made.
It's very well sculpted, which I think is part of what is so off-putting about it too. Because you're right, it has dead blank eyes, but good sculpting.
Yeah,
like it's well
yeah,
sculpted.
You want it to be less well done than it is.
Yeah, I want it to be more cartoony and less real.
So, all right. So going into our last section, these are my things. So I left Etsy for this one actually. As Andrew had mentioned earlier, we all work together on Sketch, and sometimes when we have a sketch writers meeting, we go down some pretty weird places. We look for different websites on the internet to find out things, and one of the things I looked up was, hey, if I wanted to get a ferret skull, where could I do it? So I typed in, where do you buy a ferret skull? And I came across, of course, Skulls Unlimited, where... as you can see,
they look so happy.
A Skulls Unlimited is a family-owned business with apparently a very big family. I'm sure not everybody there.
Skulls, so.
Right. So I wanted to pick. There were so many different things I could pick. I went with the real Bago rodent incisors as the thing.
Can't wait.
It's for more money than you should spend. It's just a bunch of rodent teeth. And I don't know why you need this many rodent teeth. And it's not even a skull, because you would think that they would mostly sell skulls, but they also sold a large assortment of rodent incisors. And I love the fact that they called it real rodent incisors.
It feels like that old SNL sketch.
Broken
glass.
Yeah.
Bag of rodent incisors.
You've dealt with fake bag of rodent incisors.
Right. We want you to know this is real. This is not a fake bag of rodent incisors. This is horrifying.
So if you're wondering if that's the good one, if that's the bad one, what is the thing from Skulls Unlimited that Dustin is suggesting that we buy? Because I always like to end it on a segment of what we should buy. And it turns out, if you are a fan of Skulls Unlimited, but you don't want to have to think too much about it, then why don't you just get the Bone Box? A monthly subscription from the Skulls Unlimited people with this horrific cat that they're using as their logo. That you can, for $25 a month, they will send you a skull. I have the description, Heather. I may ask you to read it just because I have a difficult time sometimes.
Go for it. Okay.
So I'll go full to make it easier.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Skulls Unlimited International Inc., the world's leading supplier of osteological specimens and creator of the #Bone Box subscription. Each Bone Box includes a mystery skull, collectible animal trading card, unique animal item or art piece, promotions and exclusive discounts. Specimens are carefully prepared using dermestid beetles, whitened and degreased. Bone box items are either A or B quality with minor imperfections. I hate everything I just read. Absolutely all of it.
I'm sorry.
That is awful. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just, what? Holy fucking hell. What?
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that it's called bone box is bad enough because, like, I hope that it is shipped in a discreet package and you're not just like one day sitting out in the mail it's here, your monthly bone box.
I mean,
Well,
also,
and then you have to explain that it's not a sex thing. It's,
Right. And you're like, no, it's not a sex thing. It's just skulls.
yeah. I mean, think about the poor porn
it's
company.
one skull.
Right. Think about the poor
They missed
sex toy
out.
company that's like, wait a
They
minute,
missed
somebody
out.
already got bone box? Are you
Yeah, they
kidding
missed
me?
out. Yeah.
How is the porn industry? How is the sex toy industry late to the
'Cause they're
bone box?
aren't they usually supposed to be ahead of everything? Like they're supposed to be the pioneers.
Right.
If they picked it like.
They're the
Yeah,
cutting edge
wow.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Let's see. Sex toy
Yeah.
subscription.
Is there a way to forget this segment asking for a friend?
No, but see, isn't it important that you know that in the world of there's a monthly subscription box for everything, that there is a skull subscription
look,
box?
So I'm looking it up. I'm not seeing any creative names. They're all called just adult subscription boxes, which is ridiculous. The only
It's got the word box.
semi-creative
How are you
name I
not
found
using that?
is one
What
called
I am,
Big O Box.
that's boring. Come
And-
on.
And here's especially what gets me with
It's
this.
the best of the worst.
Is that this box is intended for people who they don't even want a specific skull. They just want
they
any
just want
old
us-
skull.
Any
Variety.
skull. Any
Yeah.
Surprise
skull.
me.
Right.
Yeah,
A
surprise
mystery
me.
skull.
Can't wait to see what this month's
Yeah.
skull is.
Yeah. That's
So weird. I could
that's
certainly
crazy.
see you like anonymously sending this to people you hate, though.
right. But I
Well,
mean,
that feels like it would be a threat. Like
I
You're-
mean,
you're
did
threatening
I say it
someone's
was
life.
not? Yeah.
also,
yeah.
let me ask you this question. I need you to concede me that the answer has to be greater than one. But how many skulls can a person have in their home before it's the creepiest? Because
It's
a
one.
monthly,
It is one.
right?
No,
A
it's
monthly
0.
subscription
Once
box.
you have, well, one skull I think one skull is creepier than multiple skulls. If you just have one skull,
Really?
that's more of a question. Why do you only have this one?
Right, but don't you think that eventually it's going to loop? Like, if you have 12 skulls, like sitting, like,
Yeah.
Sujata
That's
is
an
asking,
aesthetic.
do we think this
Yeah.
is an FBI front searching for people who need to be watched? It could be.
right? It could be like the hitman for hire,
Everything's
like the
Mhm.
hire hitman thing.
Mm-hmm.
The bone box. I mean, they spent some time on this logo. Like
Yes,
this
this
isn't.
logo-
I think it's a good logo.
I
like it.
mean, for what it's
Good design.
offering, yes, it's
Yeah.
a well-designed logo. It's
Whichever
disturbing, but
family
also,
member
like,
designed that, kudos to them.
Yeah.
pick one out of that large photo.
I am not sure. But I think this might be Sir Indiana Bones because they have a mascot called Sir Indiana Bones.
Oh, and his tag says indie.
Yeah.
I good for them. Well done.
Who's Sir Indiana
it's good.
Bones? A cat skull?
Yeah, it's their little cat mascot. They have merchandise. You could buy mugs. You could buy all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
as I said, we're going to come back to this website eventually because they have
Yeah.
a blog and I want to read all the blog posts that they do. It's long. Go ahead.
Before we move on, I just want to. Can you go back to the page with the teeth though?
Yeah, of
One
course.
thing that jumped out.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Skulls Unlimited. If you look in the yellow text box, this is a limited quantity product.
Which is bullshit.
How can you have a limited quantity on Skulls Unlimited?
I mean,
That's
Mm.
fucked up. That's bullshit.
Mm,
Obviously, I mean
That's
they can't just send
false
you know,
advertising.
send bones forever. Just don't say that. Say if they run out, just say we're getting more.
Mhm.
and we will have more.
I mean, it's
Don't say
rodent
we're
insider,
only
so I
gonna
feel like
have
that's
some.
not hard.
Yeah.
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 And for folks who are wondering, if you're looking around the top search box, which I didn't have here, the first section is featured items, where you can get new arrivals and featured things and learn about the bone box.
Yeah.
The second thing is humans. So it's mostly skull replicas, but you can get a certain percentage of human bones from Skulls Unlimited.
How is
So
that legal?
just know that that's a thing.
I didn't think you were allowed to do that.
You can in theaters do it all the time.
What?
Yeah.
I might donate my skull to Skulls Unlimited.
You should.
All right.
Yeah, no, often
If I go while they're still around, yeah.
I did not know this. Actually.
oftentimes Hamlet is done with a real skull. It's like a thing. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I think,
and where are you going to get them?
Didn't Del Close want to get his donate his skull for Hamlet
All right.
Did he?
in one of the least problematic things that he wanted to do?
The least problem.
So yeah. Anyway, I think we're about out of time, but just as again a reminder, spend your $25 on Bone Box, or if you sign up for 3 months, you get a discount down to I think it's like $22 or something like that a month. So
Bones.
yeah,
Cost of bones.
You'd be stupid not to.
right. You're gonna want those collector's cards of
Yeah,
bones.
right? Can't wait to have those trading cards.
Jesus Christ.
What if they're like Pokemon, where they have powers, in each one? There's a game associated with it.
Yeah. I mean, actually, there's only one way to find out.
It would only make sense.
Yeah, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign up for it. Somebody's
Get
got to
on
do
that
it.
list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody on this show that's not me has to sign up for Bone Box, and I feel like it's probably not going to be Heather
So
either.
wait, you two will get a vacation to Florida. I sign up for Bone Box. That's
Right.
how it works.
Correct.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to call it. Like I called it early.
Yeah.
That's
It's like
that's
shotgun.
the trick.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that brings us to the end of our show, or the end of, I guess, part 2 of our show that we're doing for Sujatha specifically, because
Yes.
everybody else disconnected, or other people who are watching this later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll go on
Comment.
to part 2.
Let
I
us
believe
know.
it.
Let us know if you signed up for Bone Box.
Skulls Unlimited. Bone Box. Yeah.
Cool. Andrew, where can people find out more about what you got going on?
Ever since Twitter got all fucked up, that was the only social media I used. So I'm not anywhere on the internet. But if you want to check out what I've got going on, next Monday on the 13th at the Tank at 7 p.m. I've got a barracks show improv, and then on the 14th, the next day, if you're a freak, you want to double up, get both of them. Roadhouse sketch, also at 7 p.m. at the Tank.
Nice. Heather, what about you?
Next Tuesday, Roadhouse sketch, 7 p.m. at the Tank.
Cool.
We are going to be doing all the comedy stylings.
Awesome. And then I'm doing that same thing. So you get it. You guys get it. Come
You get it.
come
You
check
get
it
it.
out.
You have 3 people telling you should.
In
be
case
there.
you didn't want to hear from me, you didn't want to hear from Heather, but Dustin, you'll
Mhm.
trust.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow us at Super Important Stuff, and also follow me at DDATO at Instagram. And we are off next week because of conflicts of schedule, which is a bit of a bummer. We may try coming back on Twitch the following week, because I think the issue might be with YouTube, which is causing us to keep losing connection, which is a bummer. So we're going to try that, see if that's a little bit more stable. Otherwise, I don't really know what to do. I don't know why my internet's going down, because it only goes down during this show.
It's cursed
So-
items. That's the problem.
Yeah, it was probably the
It was the cursed broccoli.
that weird
I'm so
pickle.
Sorry.
So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in a few weeks. And have a wonderful night.